Hey guys, welcome back once again to Niagara Fire Corals. Today we're going to finally start that project of the Nano Cube. I'm really excited about it. I hope you guys are too. Alright, so this is going to be episode number 1. We're going to do this in episode series. This is episode number 1, and in today's video we're going to do some unboxing. I'm going to show you some of the products we're going to be using on this setup, and we are going to build the stand for the tank. So we'll be ready to go moving forward. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button so you get updated when I release new videos, and you'll be able to follow along in this series, and we'll grow with this tank together. Okay guys, to start off with, this is the cube that we're going to be using. It's a JBJ 20-gallon all-in-one rimless. Okay, I've already taken it out of the large box it comes in, just because it would have been a pain doing it here. But this is as it was in the box. You get your little owner's manual with the tank, which inside of here is just going to show you things like how to set up your pumps, your lid, everything you need to know for setting up the tank properly. Inside of here, this is a glass lid that comes with the tank. I probably won't be using it, and I'll tell you why later on in this video, but it does come with a glass lid that you can use if you choose to. Inside of that box, you also get your clips for the glass lid, and you get your flare nozzle, which will go here for part of your return, and it is fully adjustable. You can move it around, point it wherever you want. Okay, so that's in that portion. In the back of this, you will also receive your pump. And the pump is a 1,000 liter per hour pump, which is going to be more than enough for this size tank. And on this side, which is where your overflow initially comes in, you get your nice little filter. That's a bag of activated carbon. And you get some biomedia, which are, these are like those ceramic donuts that you can use. So that all comes in with the tank, right out of the box. That is what you get in this tank. It also comes with a foam mat. I know you can't see it, but it does come with a foam mat that sits underneath of the tank for your padding on your stand. Now, one thing I will say, when I was looking at this tank for purchase, there was a few things that I found very difficult to find out whether or not it came with the tank. It wasn't very clear that it came with the pump. I was able to find out that it did. It was not clear that what media exactly you would receive with the tank, and I absolutely did not know until I opened it that it came with the foam mat. So they could be a little more clear with what comes with this in the box, but as of right now, I'm more than happy. This is going to be a great little cube system that we're going to set up together, and we're going to have a good time doing it. So next, I'm going to just show you guys some of the things I've purchased to use on this system. And by no means am I saying you absolutely have to have these things. This is just what I'm going to do. I am keeping this tank simple and fairly inexpensive, but even a couple of the things I purchased, you do not have to, and we'll go over that in a couple minutes here. So I'm going to move this tank aside, and we'll go over some of the things that I've purchased. All right, guys, so the first thing I'm going to go over that we're going to be using on this all-in-one cube is going to be the Duetto Auto Top-Off System by XP Aqua. This is apparently a amazing little system. I have not personally used it, but this is the box it comes in, and we'll open it up and we'll have a look at what's inside. So inside the box, I've already opened this up because everything was wrapped in that really crunchy, cracky plastic, and I didn't want to annoy you guys with all the noise. So inside the box, we get our 12-volt power supply. We get an amazingly small pump, which is exactly what I was looking for, because you'll see later the auto top-off container I'm using, you want to be able to get your pump in it. So this pump is perfect for that. From the videos and everything I've seen on this system, this pump is more than adequate to pump from the stand below your cube system up and into your tank for your auto top-off. So there's the little pump. Then you get a fairly decent amount of rubber tubing to run from your auto top-off system up to your tank, and you get your tubing management. So this will clip right on the back of the tank. Your tubing will come over, go through this hole here, and it's going to hold it nice and steady, just like this, in the top of your tank, where you can keep it slightly above the water level to make sure you don't get a back siphon. And then of course the actual unit itself comes with a nice little clip. You can mount that on your stand, on the wall around your stand, whatever you'd like, and then the Duetto will just snap right into that, hold it nicely in place. And then you get your sensor. You get your sensor itself, which of course is magnetic. This will hold tightly on the back of the tank. Now, the one thing that I found very interesting about this is it is a dual sensor in here. So when your water level drops, this sensor is going to sense it. It's an optical sensor. It's going to tell the pump to turn on and start topping your tank off. Now, if that sensor was to fail, there's a secondary sensor in here that will still turn the pump off in the event that that one fails. So there's like a high and a low sensor in there. Very, very smart idea. I was very impressed with that. It also comes with, which I don't see anywhere, but it's got to be here, a siphon brake. It's probably in one of the bags that I already took out, but it does come with a little siphon brake that you put in line. In the event that it was siphoning back, it'll pull air into the line and it'll break that siphon, so you don't pull your salt water out of your tank and back into your RO container. So that's the Duetto auto top-off system that I intend to use on this. I think I paid, I don't even remember what I paid for this, to be honest with you. I did purchase it through Amazon just simply because I was going to get it quicker. I will put a link for it. Actually, there's a few products here that I purchased through Amazon just to get them quickly. I will put links for all of them in the description below the video. So if you guys are interested in these products, you'll be able to go right there and get them exactly where I did. So that's the Duetto auto top-off system that we'll be using on the tank. Now, by no means am I saying you have to use an auto top-off system. I just don't want to have to top off the tank daily manually. One of the biggest things with smaller tanks, such as these 20-gallon cubes, 15s, 10s, whatever size you choose to go with, is evaporation. Evaporation is simply going to take the water out of the system, but not the salt. So if you're losing the water and not the salt, you're going to get salinity swings. In a smaller tank, it is extremely easy to happen. That is why I chose to go with an auto top-off system. You can do it manually, daily, have a jug of RO water and pour it in the back of the tank yourself and save yourself the money of buying an auto top-off system. Chances are you'll end up getting one eventually down the road, but it's a suggestion by me. By no means am I saying you have to have it. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the ink bird, and this is going to be for your heaters. Now in the box you get your manual. It's going to show you everything about the Inkbird, how to use it, how to set it up, how to program it. Everything you need is right here in this manual. This is the ITC 306A, and I'm going to just talk to you a little bit about this and why I purchased this piece of equipment for the tank. Now, I am very adamant about having some type of redundancy or secondary controller system on my tanks for heaters, simply because one of my early on tanks crashed because my thermostat in my heater failed and it cooked the tank. I do not want that ever to happen to me again, so therefore, as you guys already know, on my main systems and frag systems, I run an Apex, which controls that as a secondary redundancy. On this tank, I am not going to go as far as putting an Apex on it and everything else, but these Inkbirds, they're fairly inexpensive. This one here was about $70 Canadian, and they've really come a long way. Big thing I liked about it, because as you know, if you've watched my previous videos, I'm big on redundancy. Well, they've put in 2 temperature probes. If one were to fail, the other one will still work. Therefore, the unit will still work and it'll turn your heaters off when it's supposed to. This is redundancy. This is what I'm always talking about, and that to me is a big thing. 2 sensors. The chances of it failing on you to the point of a catastrophic failure or cooking your tank, not very likely. It also comes with 2 plugs that are controllable by the controller. There's a couple things you can do here. One thing I strongly suggest is use 2 heaters. You know, if you need a 100-watt heater, use 250s. The reason I say that, if your heater was to fail and you're not home, your tank is going to start cooling off quite quickly. If you were to use 2 smaller heaters, that will do the same thing. If one heater fails, that second heater is still going to be working. It's going to buy you a lot more time to get home and hopefully save your fish and corals and all your animals in your tank. So again, redundancy. This is another redundancy to me. This is fully programmable. You can set your high temp, your low temp. I believe the difference in the 2 is about a half a degree. So you'll have about a half degree swing in the tank. You can also set high alarms, low alarms, and the alarms that come off of these things are quite loud. I can hear them in the upstairs of my house. So you will hear this going off. But the big thing with this particular model is it's Wi-Fi and it has an app with it. So you can control this from the app. You'll get notifications, push notifications to your phone if your tank was getting too warm, too cool. You'll know if your heaters aren't working. You can program it and set it through the app. Great little product. It's going to be an awesome addition to the tank for very little money as far as I'm concerned for what you're getting. $70 to have this and all the redundancy that you're going to get along with this for your heaters is well worth the money, and I think it's money well spent for anyone that decides to go this route. Again, you can purchase these at most of your local fish stores, but I purchased it when I was purchasing the other stuff through Amazon, and I will put the link for this as well in the description below this video. So we'll move on to the next thing that I got, and it actually goes along with the auto top-off system. Again, purchased from Amazon. This is a 5-liter bottle. This will be the bottle that I'm going to fill with RO water. And the reason I purchased this is, one, it'll fit nicely under the stand, but it also has the large opening, so very easy for me to get that pump I showed you guys into this. And the cap itself is drillable. Now this is drillable because it's threaded, and you could put a spout in there if you wanted to, you know, and then turn the jug on its edge and turn the spout on for water. Now in my case, I'm going to just drill it the same way you would for that, except my tubing for my auto top off pump will come right through the lid. That way I can keep the bottle nice and closed, and it's going to help with evaporation in the RO bottle. So again, purchased through Amazon. I will put a link in the description for this bottle as well, but that's going to be perfect for the auto top off system. Now on top of that, you need some basic things. You're going to need a power bar for, you know, heaters, lighting. And speaking of lighting, I don't have it here to show you guys, but you've seen it in previous videos. I do have multiple other lights that I use for coral shows and, you know, secondary tanks. So I am going to be using on this cube my Prime 16 HD. So that is the light that we're going to put on that tank. But again, we'll go over that light and settings I'm going to use and everything else when that time comes and we go over it. So next, I bought a 20-pound bag. This is the Insta cycling that they call it. I don't buy it, guys. I hate to say it, I don't buy it. I am not going to put this sand into that tank and add fish. It states you can do that on the bag. I find that extremely hard to believe. I've been in this hobby long enough. I've cycled and gone through cycles on enough tanks to know that I don't believe that this, just simply adding this live sand and live bacteria to the tank is going to make it instantly cycled and safe for fish and everything else. Don't do it. I did it to help with the cycle, but I absolutely will not be putting fish in that tank until I use my test kits and I know for sure that we have completed the cycle. We have a diatom bloom happening, and then I'll do as everyone should do, and that is slowly start adding your cleanup crew and moving along with the tank from there. But this is the sand that I'm going to be using in the tank. It's 20 pounds. It's going to be perfect for what we're doing, and that is that. And of course, in an upcoming video, you're going to see me working with all of this great stuff. I purchased 20 pounds of this is the Marco rock. Some of it's been cut, as you can see, cut very flat as nice base pieces. I have some great visions in my head of what I want to do for an aquascape in this tank. Hopefully I'll be able to bring them to life for you guys, or bring it to life for you guys on camera and show you exactly how I'm going to do it. But let's just say we're not going to be just piling rock. It's going to be a pretty intricate aquascape, and if I can bring it together, I think that you guys will agree that it's going to look fantastic when it's covered in coral. So we've got our rock, and that's about it, guys. That's everything that I think that we need for this tank. So quick rundown again: we got the tank, we got an auto top off. I do have a couple of heaters. I mean, I'm not going to bother showing you guys. We all know what heaters are for an aquarium by now. So you need light, you need heat, you need rock, you don't even need sand. I shouldn't say you need sand, but in this case, I need sand. The Inkbird for controlling the heaters, and we're good to go. So the only thing that we need now is a stand to put that tank on, and we can get started with this whole project. So let's go outside and let's build a stand. All right, guys, so as you can see, we got the stand down here in place. We have the tank sitting on it. We're ready to go. We're ready to start building. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button so you see the upcoming videos. This is part 1 of the Nano Cube. Part 2 will be aquascaping and getting the sand and water in this tank to get it start cycling. So make sure you keep your eye out for that video coming out in the very near future. Until then, guys, make sure you take care and happy reefing.